There are places where women are not only imprisoned, but stripped of their dignity, their bodies, and their right to live as human beings. The prisons you're about to witness aren't scenes from a movie. They are real, documented through blood, tears, and screams lost in the dark. In some places, 30 women are crammed into cells meant for 7. In others, they must trade their bodies just to eat. And in one, over 120 female inmates become pregnant every single month. These are the 10 most brutal women's prisons in the world, where evil needs no whips, because it thrives under the silence of law. Prepare yourself, because after this video, you'll never look at a prison the same way again. Rank 10. Padarai Prison, Estonia. Standing by the seashore of Tallinn, Padarai Prison resembles an old fortress, but what once happened within its walls marks it as one of the coldest places in modern history. Not cold in temperature, but in the absence of humanity, replaced by the suffocating silence of unchecked power. Originally built as a military structure, Padarai was converted into a political prison under Soviet rule, holding those deemed a threat to the regime. Torture tools were unnecessary. Darkness, overcrowding, and complete isolation were enough to slowly strip away a person's identity. Women imprisoned here were especially vulnerable, frequently subjected to physical and psychological abuse. In a place where human dignity held no value, they became tools, burdens, and eventually, forgotten voices behind cold stone walls. Though now a public museum, the chill hasn't left. Padarai stands as a quiet reminder. Atrocities don't need darkness to exist. They flourish just as well in places no one dares to look too closely. Rank 9. Bangkok Hilton, Thailand. Behind its luxurious name, Bangkok Hilton is what foreign inmates call Thailand's most notorious prisons. Here, women are crammed into overcrowded cells, sharing filthy toilets, surrounded by rats, snakes, and disease. New female inmates are shackled for their first 3 months, subject to physical inspections at any time. Even worse, some are forced to serve male prisoners and become pawns in a prison caste system. There is no compassion here, only despair. Rank 8. Bana, Egypt. In a poor city north of Cairo, Bana Women's Prison stands as a real-life hell. It is more than just a detention facility, it is evidence of the collapse of morality under unchecked power. Dark, overcrowded cells offer no sunlight. Shared, filthy toilets serve dozens without proper sanitation. In such conditions, even basic survival becomes a luxury. But for female inmates, it goes further. They are forced to serve guards or male inmates under the pretense of internal duties. Worse still, there are virtually no medical facilities. When illness inevitably spreads, no one receives treatment. Some women are pregnant, others abused to despair, but all share one fate: abandonment. As if their lives no longer mattered. Bana is a chilling reminder that in some places, justice isn't distorted, it's forgotten. Rank 7. Santa Martha Acatitla, Mexico. Tucked within the bustling capital of Mexico City is a prison few dare to speak of, Santa Martha Acatitla. Not because it is far away, but because what happens inside contradicts the image of a civilized society. Female inmates here live within a broken system. Cells with no light, few beds, and unsanitary water, but an overabundance of fear. At night, some women are pulled from their cells, taken to private areas for punishment or the hidden desires of prison staff. Strangely, a beauty pageant is held here each year. The winner doesn't earn freedom, just a few days free from abuse. As if makeup could mask the wounds of a life stripped of dignity. Santa Martha is more than a prison, it's proof that indifference can be policy and cruelty. A method of control. Rank 6. Buen Pastor, Colombia. Colombia is often celebrated for its vibrant culture and scenic beauty. But behind the glamour lies a darker truth. Buen Pastor Prison tells the story of women submerged in cruelty and invisibility. Female inmates here suffer from extreme poverty, lacking clean water, food, or safety. Some are forced to crawl like animals for guards' amusement, while others endure daily verbal abuse as a form of control. Each year, a beauty contest is held as a twisted consolation. The winner receives a short break from abuse. The rest return to their bleak existence. It is a cruel mockery masquerading as mercy. Buen Pastor doesn't need fences to keep women imprisoned, society's silence is enough. Rank 5. Ravensbrück, Germany, World War II. Among the darkest legacies of World War II, Ravensbrück stands as an unhealed wound. More than just a concentration camp, it was a place where women became test subjects, where humanity was dissected alongside flesh. Over 130,000 women were imprisoned here. Regardless of age, they were forced into labor, humiliation, and worst of all, medical experiments. The White Rabbits endured sterilizations, drug trials, and surgeries without anesthesia. No imagination is needed to grasp its horror. Ravensbrück's truth eclipses any war film's fiction. Today, it is a memorial, but the screams of those nights still echo in the minds of those who remember. Rank 4. Medan, Indonesia. In Medan, the largest city in northern Sumatra, stands one of Indonesia's most harrowing women's prisons. But it's not just the poverty or squalor, it's the way women are commodified. Each female inmate here has a price. Guards and male prisoners collude in a rental system where those with money can hire women for use. Abuse, or exploitation, a warm meal or a better cell can be bought with a woman's body. This shadow economy thrives in silence. Refusing participation brings punishment, isolation, or humiliation through lower pricing. In Medan, justice isn't just blind, it's been sold. This is no longer a prison. It is a marketplace masked by law. Rank 3. Guldani, Georgia. Located on the outskirts of Tbilisi, Guldani is often referred to by locals as hell on earth. It's not just a prison, it's a graveyard for basic human rights. Especially for women, cells are overcrowded, often housing dozens in a space meant for far fewer. Light, healthcare, and legal assistance are nearly non-existent. Sick inmates are left untreated, often dying in silence. Female prisoners are abused not only by guards but also forced into underground transactions. Local authorities have claimed reforms, but most changes remain on paper. Suffering continues, and justice remains out of reach. Guldani is not merely a detention center, it is a stain on a nation that once promised fairness. Rank 2. Neve Tirza, Israel. Neve Tirza is Israel's only women's prison, and by many accounts, its most haunting. More than just a detention center, it's a psychological trap, where bodies weaken and spirits are crushed. Inmates live in rooms so cramped they can barely lie down. The air is stifling, the lighting poor, and sanitation conditions so dire that many suffer from illness and mental breakdowns. Abuse is common, pleas are ignored, and despair is the norm. Some choose suicide as their only escape. Worse still, most deaths pass unnoticed, as if these women never existed. Neve Tirza doesn't just imprison the body, it buries the soul. Rank 1. Valley State, USA. Behind the serene landscape of California's valleys lies Valley State, a prison once known as the world's largest women's facility. But inside this seemingly calm environment are unimaginable tragedies. Valley State is infamous not for its security, but for its shocking number, an average of 120 pregnancies per month. A staggering figure, especially in an all-female prison. But this reveals the hidden truth: pregnancy here was a survival tactic. Expectant inmates were exempt from forced labor, received better food, and gained access to medical care. To obtain these privileges, many exchanged their bodies through covert relationships with staff or secret networks. Valley State was not just a prison, it was a system where women became instruments of survival. Where human rights gave way to harsh rules of exploitation. What you've just watched isn't fiction or exaggerated drama. These are grim realities still unfolding around the world, where human rights, especially for women, are trampled without mercy. What are your thoughts on these prisons? Which part haunted you the most? Share your feelings in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you believe the world deserves to know these truths. We'll return soon with more powerful and eye-opening topics. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.